Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Marcus Pointe Golf Club for this back nine deep dive vlog. If you haven't seen last week's video, that's where I went in depth through the front nine. So if you haven't seen it, go check that out. Come back to this one afterwards. We're gonna jump right into this one. 10th hole, 423 yard, par 4. Dog legs to the right. Today we got the wind pretty heavily right and left. Maybe a little bit down, but significantly more from the right. So I'm gonna hit driver. I'm gonna try and go over the corner of the trees down the right here. Wind might try and bring it back to the left a little bit. There's room there. That should work out just fine. Wind didn't really touch it, but it's over the trees. Should be right side of the fairway. All right, so we're in prime position here. Right side of the fairway, at 105 yards in to a front flag. Bit of a spine just right of that flag. So anything right of that will kick a little right, anything left of it should kick a little left. The easier putt would be if I leave this just left of the flag. I've got the wind off the right, so I'm gonna try and just start it straight at it. And if the wind moves a little left, fine. Got my sand wedge here, just like 3/4 one. Looks really good. Okay, great line. Just a hair short. I think it's on the front of the green. Might have just spun back into the fringe, but it's in a good spot. We're giving ourselves an uphill birdie look here to start the back nine. All right, that's actually much closer than I expected. I thought it was right down by the front edge, so very nice shot there. We will absolutely take that. Now let's capitalize on it. All right, so about 4.5, 5 feet back uphill into grain. I haven't really read it yet, but my initial thought is that it should turn a little left. Yeah, I think it's got to go just a bit left, but we're going to hit this with some pace. So I don't think it's anything more than right edge. All right. Nice birdie there to start the back nine. That gets us to 3 under par. So that can be a tricky hole. I mean, the tee shot's probably the toughest part, but if you pull it off like I did there, you know, you're really rewarded with a good wedge shot in there. You could lay further back. Fairway's a little bit more generous, but then you're going to have a tougher approach shot, obviously, to a green with some slope in it, and especially if the pin is back left, that's a very small target. Now, that's, you know, 25 yards further than I was here, so with that pin placement, I would have had 130 today. If I'd laid up, you know, I could have had 160 back to that thing. So I'm always going to hit driver on this hole. It's just, to me, it's a no-brainer. You assume the risk of taking it around that corner, and when you hit it good, you reap the benefits. All right, guys, 11th hole, 390 yard par 4. Now, it's not a very wide hole. A lot of the time I'd like to hit less than driver on a hole like this, but there's a tree right in the middle of the fairway, and driver takes that completely out of play. Less than driver, you risk hitting the tree, getting stuck under or behind it. So you just gotta kind of man up, hit driver right over that tree. Just like that. That'll be perfect. All right, guys, I don't think I mentioned from the tee, but this hole is playing downwind. So this drive went a long way. Got 51 yards left. That's downwind, as mentioned. Going slightly uphill. It's going to be hard to spin this. I got about 40 to the front, so I got to try and play that number and just let it release up. Okay, played that pretty well. Pretty sure I landed on the front number. It just didn't release as much as I'd expected, but hard to tell with the depth perception, but I probably have about 8 feet for birdie there, I'd say. Oh yeah, so about 7 feet here. Little uphill, little cross grain. So my feet are telling me that it wants to go right, but the grain is pushing left. So I think I play this pretty straight with a bit of pace. Nice start to the back nine. Back-to-back birdies gets us 4 under on the round. Take that in these conditions. All right, 12th hole, par 3. 156 yards today. This is a very small green, very, very narrow. It's deep, but not wide at all. Maybe, oof, it can't be more than 10 yards wide. So anything on the green here is good. 156 yards, downwind still. So I've got pitching wedge. I'm a little protected from the wind here, but there's still a lot of it. So I have to imagine even more of it is going to hit the golf ball. So I got to take some off of this wedge. I really don't want to go long. So just a small pitching wedge here. Try and get it up onto the right, that top shelf. Pin's kind of at the back on a flat spot there. That's a big push. Oh, and it kicked into the bunker. That was a poor golf swing right there. That was a little bit out of sequence. We're gonna have a pretty tough up and down out of that bunker now, so got some work to do on this one. Okay, so we got this bunker shot here for a second here on the par 3 12. Got a bit of forced carry. Luckily, the green is sloping back towards me once I get onto it. And I've drawn a decent lie, so got a few things working in our favor here. Pretty nice shot, just pulled it. And I've been doing that a little bit recently out of the bunker, so I got to work on that a little bit. That definitely hurts my proximity. But we've given ourselves a very makeable par look there. Yeah, so about 4 feet here for par. A little back into the grain. Anything I feel like it wants to go a little right. But there really shouldn't be much in this. But a little bit kind of left center. Make sure I hit it since it's back into the grain. Man, I don't know if that tried to go left or if I pulled it, but it's in. That's a good par save. That keeps the momentum going. All right, guys, 13th hole, 380 yard par 4. Dead straight. So you got some overhanging limbs on both sides off the tee. I usually just try and hit it high and get all that out of play. Not a long par 4. You could hit less than driver, but again, there's a bunker in the right center of the fairway that every other club brings into play except driver. So for me, it's always driver, and just, you know, pound it over that bunker and give yourself a wedge in. Hanging a little down the right, so wind's gonna hold it there. We'll be fine. It won't be fairway, but it is fine. We actually got a good angle from there. All right, so right rough, really not bad. Got a decent lie, good angle. 101 yards in. Because I'm out of the rough, like I usually would hit 56 or my sand wedge from this yardage, but because I'm in the rough and I want to get some spin, I've got my lob wedge out. So just gonna try and feel a lob wedge back there. Give ourselves a makeable putt. Good. Be good. That looks really good. That was a bit of a slope there, so I can't see the ball, but looked like it landed maybe 3-4 feet away. All depends on how it reacted after that, but it was well struck, so it should have had some spin on it. And that worked out very nicely. I'm actually surprised I was able to get it to stop on that slope, but I did. Now we got a very, very makeable uphill birdie putt. Yeah, I must have put a ton of spin on that, because that landed right here. I managed to stop on the downslope. So we'll take that. About 5 feet here. 4 or 5 feet. Grain's kind of coming this way, so it's gonna help it turn. And this is already a putt that has some right to left in it. Yeah, so uphill, and I think I got to start this just outside the hole. Got to give it some pace though. If I don't give it some pace, the grain will just grab it and it'll miss left. Yep. That was a nice confident stroke there. All right. We birdied 3 out of 4 to start the back. That gets us to 5 under par now. All right, guys, 14th hole, 382 yard par 4. This one dog legs left. See, there's an oak tree on the corner there, left side of the fairway. Now, back in the day, it's not there anymore, but there used to be a big pond on the right side. Unfortunately, that has drained. It's just become this big bailout area now. But man, I wish it was still there, because, like, you know, it's not a long par 4, and because that water isn't there, I can just kind of bomb driver out there. If it turns over, great. If it goes a little right, it goes to where the pond used to be. If that pond was still there, now you're trying to, like, well, I mean, if you're hitting driver, you got to hit the perfect draw. If not, you're in the water. Or you got to take less than driver and try to squeeze it between the tree and the water. I mean, it just would have completely changed the hole and made it arguably one of the tougher holes on the golf course. Anyways, I got driver. I'm just going to try and start this just on the right corner of the oak tree. Put a good swing on it. That's a good hit. I was expecting the wind to move it a little left. It didn't. That's going to be in that bailout area, so we'll get a good idea of how different this hole is, being able to play the shot from down there. All right, so here's the ball, and actually, I think if the pond was still there, you can see there's still a bit of a hazard up there. I think we might have just stayed out of it. It looks like it would have finished right around here, but I mean, obviously that's going to drastically change this hole. As we got a wedge shot, we got a good angle. See what we can do. All right, so we got 92 yards here, this kind of front right flag. But again, as I said, good angle. The flag is not hidden by that bunker there, at least not from this angle. I got the lob wedge out again, just trying to feel one up there. So that's got to go just a little bit. Yeah, came out a little soft. It's okay, just kind of front fringe, not a very good wedge shot, honestly. Probably just a hair heavy. But we're not in any trouble. We still got a birdie look, technically. All right, so it's actually a little more off the front edge than I expected. So I'm going to elect to chip this one. It's a little uphill. It's going to turn from left to right, my left to right, as it dies. Rain's also pushing left to right. I don't know if I can land this on the green. I'm trying to imagine the shot, and I imagine if I landed up on the green, it isn't going to stop. So I think I got to kind of turn the wedge down a little bit, land it in the fringe, and get it to chase up there. Okay, all right, that worked. Just caught the edge of the fringe there. I thought I was going to get fringe boosted, but it checked up really nicely. So that worked out. Got this little tap in for our par here. All right, I mean, you know, from 92 yards out, you want to give yourself a better look at birdie than that. But not going to hit every shot perfectly, and you know, ball's just sitting up a little bit, caught a little high on the face. It didn't cost us anything. Made our par. I mean, short was a good leave. If I'd let's say the bunker had been in the way, I would have played that purposely a little bit longer to have taken the bunker out of play. But yeah, anyways, really nice golf hole. Really a big fan of that one. All right, par 3, 15th. So pins at the front today, so it's playing a little short, 136 yards. Now, front of this green, again, a bit like the 12th hole, very, very narrow. I mean, maybe 7 or 8 yards wide. So, need some pinpoint accuracy here. I've got the wind a little bit into, I think, primarily out of the left. So I'm hitting pitching wedge. I'm just going to try and draw it back into that wind. Take some of the speed off of it, control the distance, and you know, stop the wind from taking it to the right side. So here we go. Pretty good. It's hard to see in the shadows, but I think that's really good. Maybe about 6 feet. Nice swing there is exactly what I was looking to do. All right, so from the tee, it looked about 6 feet, but it went a little further past pin high than I'd expected. That's all right. We still got, that's got to be inside 15 feet. A little downhill for birdie. All right, so downhill birdie look. Pretty much straight down grain as well. Initial instinct is that this is going to want to turn a little to my left. Shouldn't be a lot in it. Now I'm not so sure. Yeah, I think if anything, just trickling a little bit to the left. Just want to get the pace right. Green's been a little slow today, but downhill, down grain, I don't want to get too aggressive here. Wow, dead center. All right, what is that? That's 4 birdies on this side. No bogeys. And we were 2 under on the front. We're 6 under par. Man, putting together a pretty good round here. All right, par 5, 16th hole. Just a shade over 500 yards. Good par 5. I really like this one. Straight out off the tee. Dog leg is right, right around 300 yards out. You can't really cut the corner. At least I can't. I'm not long enough to carry it over that right corner. I do have wind off the left right now, so that's going to push the ball to the right. So I got to make sure I don't kind of challenge that corner too much right now. Let's just start this kind of left center of the green. Let the wind bring it back to the right center. Get it past the corner so we got a clear shot of the green on our second. I didn't see a thing. Straight back into that sun. Felt great. I have no clue. Felt like a great hit. I didn't hear any trees. Didn't see anything down, so I'm gonna go for a little drive. And yeah, hopefully we just find that in the middle of the fairway. Ooh, blinded by the sun there. Okay, so it did take me a minute, but I did find it. We're in the right rough, so I must have faded that a little bit, and the wind would have pushed it a little more. I hammered it. I've got 187 yards into what looks from here to be a back flag. Check on the cart. Yeah, kind of back middle-ish. So it was very well hit. I do have a lot of tree trouble. So, flag's down on this line. I don't know how well you're going to see that on camera right now. I've got to start this out at the left bunker and hit a big old fade back onto the green. I got 7-iron out. Now the good news is that the wind is still pushing left to right, so that's going to help the fade. Just got to commit to this here. Turn. Yeah. Didn't turn. Turned a little, but nowhere near enough. Yeah, that's in the bunker, which honestly from here isn't that bad. But we got work cut out if we want to make a birdie now. Yeah, that's too bad. Another 3-4 yards of cut, and that probably would have missed the bunker and I'd assume chased up at least onto the fringe. But anyways, it is what it is. Got this bunker shot. It's uphill. Should turn a little left to right on the green. Let's get this close. Man, there's a lot more sand than I expected. Okay, well, we still got a putt. That was not very good from there. Okie dokie. About 22 feet up the hill from birdie. Almost straight back into the grain. Definitely turning a little bit from left to right. Getting later in the day, the greens are slowing down. This is uphill into grain. I gotta hit this pretty hard. All right, that was a good putt. Did what I was trying to do. Just never turned. All right, missed opportunity on the par 5 there. That's okay. We've got a tough par 4 coming up and another par 5 to finish. So let's see how strong we can finish out this round. All right, par 4, 17th. Really, really nice, challenging par 4 here. You can see pretty narrow off the tee. 413 yards long. A little downhill. Today, like most days, it is playing back into the wind. Tough green, but it all starts with the tee shot. Now, you can kind of see it on camera, I'm sure. It kind of feeds in from both sides, but if you miss it up the right, it doesn't kick down as hard, and a lot of the time you don't actually have a clear shot. From the left, it kicks down a little bit more. So I like to take it kind of left center of the fairway, favor that left side just a bit. Oh, man, that wind's picking up. But I mean, realistically, anything out there with a clear shot to the green, you've done your job. That's hanging right. The wind is pushing it. That's trouble. Okay. I really highly doubt we have a shot at the green from there, so we might be forced to just chip out, but let's get up there and see. All right, so this really is less than ideal here. Ooh. Okay, so because I hit that little kind of spinny cut, I got 167 yards left. Pin's also way at the back, which is why I have so far in. I do have a gap, and I really want to try it. It's not smart, but I really want to try it. We're gonna try it. This is YouTube golf. This is what we do. All right, I got 5-iron, punch it low. I mean, anything up on or around the green would be fantastic from here. Okay, I completely missed my window. I was just way too scared of that. We went left of the window. We got it up somewhere close to the green, but we got a really tricky up and down now. I'm gonna have to probably hit some kind of flop shot from where I am, and it's gonna be very hard to get that close. All right, so this is less than ideal, obviously. I'm not gonna bring the camera down there because you're not gonna see anything. I'm gonna leave you guys up here. So, down there, an uphill, short-sided. Really not much green to work with. The one good thing is back into the wind. That'll help a little bit, but it takes a pretty good touch here. Lie is pretty good, but I'm on a bit of a downslope. That's not going to help. Go, go. Oh. Thought I played that perfectly. All sitting up a little better than I thought. All right, chipping for par now. And decent lie on a bit of an upslope. Green's leaning back towards me, that's gonna help. Should break off to the right. No. That's ridiculous. It's an absolutely ridiculous par. Completely undeserving. But you take them when they happen. Holy shit. All right, guys, 18th hole, 525 yard par 5. Now it's downhill off the tee and then back uphill to the green. You're not gonna be able to see it from where the camera is, but there is a tree, an oak tree on the left side, just left of the fairway, where if you're down the left side, even if you're in the fairway, it'll block your second shot. And there's some mounding down the right side. So it's, you know, it's not the widest hole. There's a lot of place to put it, but if you want an open shot at the green, it's a fairly small target that you have to hit. So I'm going to try and take this right side of the fairway, or right center of the fairway. Wind's off the left. Right? I just want to avoid that oak tree at all costs. Oh, leave it wind. Leave it wind. All right, I think it's still right side of the fairway. Maybe just in the rough. I hit the exact shot I was looking for. As it hit its apex, the wind just kind of pushed it a little over to the right. Happy with the shot. We're gonna have an angle. Just depends how good our lie is gonna be, whether in the fairway or the rough. All right, so we just held on to the right side of the fairway here. You can see it kind of plugged into this bank. Rolled down the hill a little bit. We've got 222 to the flag, playing uphill to 226. Now I've got a draw lie, but the wind is left to right. So if I get this up in the air and it draws off that lie, and the wind hits it, well, no, that's going to take some distance off of it. I was originally thinking 5-iron, but then when I kind of thought about that, I was like, man, no, I got to pull out the 4-iron. And I think I got to hit it pretty full. I do want to hit it high. I don't want to hit like a kind of a low stinging one. It's going to chase. I want this to land soft, and I am on a bit of an upslope. That should help do it. Now, pin is a little bit on the right side of the green. Not sure if you can see it on camera, but there's a American flag behind the green. I'm going to aim at that. I don't want to get too cute. I'm trying to fire at that flag from almost 230 yards. With a couple bunkers on the right, that wouldn't be a very easy up and down. If I miss this left, I'll get past the bunker at the front left. At least I'll be chipping across the green. So let's see what we can do here. Not hit that well. Go. Yeah, just never got my weight to the front foot on that upslope. Hit a little fat. So we're short of the green. We got some work to do. That's a pretty disappointing swing right there. Okay, so we've still got a chance to give ourselves a good look at a closing birdie here. Got 41 yards uphill. I mean, I don't have to get cute with this and try to like put spin on it or anything. I can just kind of hit a low, kind of running one, chase it up that slope. And that's what I'm going to do. Okay, pulled it a little bit. And it didn't quite chase up as much as I'd expected. It's okay. It's not great. I think I'm getting tired. We've got an uphill birdie putt to finish here though. All right, so this uphill birdie look here. Kind of straight back into the grain, little across. Grain's kind of coming this way a little bit. Yeah, should turn to the right. 15 feet, that really wasn't a very good shot from 41 yards, but it is what it is. All right, 15 feet uphill into and across the grain. That's gonna hold up the break a little bit. I think it's still got to turn a bit though. I gotta play this just outside left. This green looks fuzzy. We're getting very late in the day now, so the grass has been growing. I gotta make sure I hit this hard enough to get there. I don't think that was ever on line, and I didn't push that. That was completely misaligned. Nevertheless, it also turned more than I expected, so not a very good effort. This for par. Wow, okay, so 66, 4 under on the back 9. We didn't birdie either of the par 5s, which sucks, but still a great 9. But left a few out there. All right, guys, that's a wrap for this video. Really hope you enjoyed this kind of deep dive into the Marcus Pointe Golf Club here. Really great track, a lot of fun to play. Great people running the place, friendly staff. Conditions get better and better every day. And as you will have seen, if you've watched both pars, front 9 and back 9, way more birdie opportunities. You can still make bogeys, but there's way more birdies to be made. Front 9, you just gotta kind of survive it. And as I want to thank you all very much for watching. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, like the video, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the golf course. And as always, I'll be back again next week with another video. Cheers.